Cassie, every day I tell you, we're paying a lot of money here, so let's get the benefit of the maid service.
And every day I tell you that I don't want any maid thinking that we're messy people. And besides,
They can't clean right. Okay. Here we go. Today at Whispering Trees Elder Hospital. Note, this afternoon's class on recognizing poison oak has been canceled due to the unavailability of the instructor. Do you think he has poison oak?
Poison ivy, I hear.
I'm skipping the seated aerobics. Seated aerobics? I'm out of breath just thinking about it. And listening to the whispering trees at dawn? At dawn, I couldn't hear the trees whispering over my wheezing. In fact, I'm skipping anything before 11 a.m.
You never skip breakfast. You never take any exercise classes, and you never skip a meal.
Cassie, I came to the mountains to get cool in August, not to sweat.
And you're always telling me that we should learn new things and try new things. You should take your own advice.
I tried the grits at breakfast this morning. I learned I don't like grits. And frankly, I'm not too thrilled by these classes. At 11 a.m., there's fundamentals of Qigong. Isn't Qigong that Chinese restaurant we used to go to?
It's pronounced Qigong.
So why don't they spell it that way?
Qigong is an ancient Chinese healthcare system that involves odd postures, breathing techniques, and focused intention.
Cassie, I know it's important to learn new things as you get older, but I didn't come to this camp to learn how to focus. Another word for focus is concentration. Do you think I want to be in a concentration camp?
My husband, the joke teller. Is that the best you can do?
It's early in the morning. I'm sorry.
Well, I have a joke to tell you.
Oh, that you're going to tell a joke is a joke. We've been married 44 years, and in all that time you've told 3 jokes, remember?
I remember.
The first one, you forgot the punchline.
I remember the punchline of this one.
And the second one, you stopped in the middle because you thought it was too blue to tell in front of people.
I can tell this one in front of you.
And the third time, you forgot the punchline. It wasn't funny.
This one's funny, and if it isn't, I don't care.
So tell me this joke you don't care about.
A man and a woman, they've been married, say, 44 years, and they're asleep in bed. The woman wakes up, turns to her husband, and slaps him. He wakes up, a red welt on his cheek, and says, "What was that for?" She says, "That was for being a lousy lover all these years." Then she turns over and goes back to sleep. He looks at her, reaches over and slaps her. She jumps up and says, "What was that for?" And he says, "That was for knowing the difference." Is it funny?
It's so funny. Why are you suddenly telling me a joke? Was there a class on how to tell a joke on the schedule? Did I miss it?
Well, it's like an after-dinner speaker. You know, they want to get their audience's attention and ease into their subject, so they tell a joke on the subject.
And your subject is?
Knowing the difference.
Between different lovers?
Yes.
And your speech on this subject is?
Norman, I know the difference.
How would you learn the difference? Have you been watching that sex woman on the Oxygen Channel again after I go to sleep? Her idea of lovemaking is sick. And what you learn from her, you shouldn't want to know. And she should be ashamed of herself. An old woman with all of those machines and gewgaws of different shapes.
Mostly one shape. but I didn't learn it from her. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to tell you that I've been unfaithful to you.
You had sex with another man?
That's what people usually mean when they say I've been unfaithful to you.
I'm shocked, completely shocked. If someone had told me that you hadn't been faithful these 44 years, and bet me that you hadn't, I would have taken the bet and given him odds. I'm shocked. I'm completely shocked.
So you're shocked. What else are you?
Disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, but I forgive you. 44 years, I strayed once or twice myself, I confess.
Once or twice? Huh?
2 or 3 times, no more, I swear. I know. You knew I strayed, and you wanted to spite me, to get revenge.
I'm not a vengeful woman.
Or it being natural, you being a young, healthy woman, and I was on the road a lot, and you got lonely. What happened 20 or 30 years ago is water under the bridge, and I forgive you. I don't know why you had to tell me, but I appreciate your honesty, and I forgive you. Why did you have to tell me now when we're at the summer camp for old farts, fogies?
Last week.
I didn't say when, I said why.
It happened last week.
You had sex here at Elder Hostel? Cassie, you have sex with boys when you're 17 at summer camp. Women your age are lucky to have sex with their husband. I don't believe you.
Wednesday when you went to that class on what to do about our stocks that are in the toilet?
Well, I was trying to save our economic future. You cheated on me? This is an outrage. I'm shocked and this is anger. I'm outraged.
I can't blame you.
How could you do such a thing?
Well, the man's been pestering me to do it since we got here. He says that I drive him crazy. And he's a very sexy guy. So I thought, maybe I should see what this is all about.
That was a terrible thing to do. An evil thing to do. Tell me his name and I will punch him in the face.
It was Merrill Fontaine. You know, that guy in cabin 12 who wears the different colored plaid shorts every day?
With the orthopedic shoes?
That's the one. And his arthritis started acting up, so he had to go back to Florida on Friday. He'd have to go a long way to punch him.
You call Merrill Fontaine a sexy guy? The man is 75 if he's a day.
He says 78, but 80's more like it.
I get it now. I see the picture. Merrill Fontaine is a sad old man. He's miserable and unhappy and mad with desire for you. And he's on vacation, never to see you again. And having a kind heart, you decide to give him what the young people call a pity. A pity, you know.
There wasn't any pity in this, you know. And my heart wasn't the part of me that was interested.
You told me that Merrill Fontaine is almost 80. He would need Bob Dole to personally deliver him a triple dose of Viagra.
Well, the part of me that was interested found out that the part of Merrill that was interested was plenty young enough. And if it took some blue pills, it's fine by me.
You're telling me you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
How much did you enjoy it?
It's hard to say, but when the moment arrived, I thought I would go through the ceiling.
Your head hurt?
It's a metaphor, Norman. You know it's a metaphor. It describes ecstasy.
So on Wednesday, you had ecstasy with Merrill Fontaine, and now you know the difference between my lovemaking and someone else's.
It was a bad thing to do, but I certainly do know the difference, and that's why I had to tell you. I had to tell you that...
No. Wait. I gotta tell you something first. I thought it would be hard to retire. I loved my job. I was part of the business world, part of the action, and I had lots of friends. I saw them all the time. But being able to spend every day with you, I never looked back. Sure, maybe I'm not so good at elder hustling. Maybe at home I'm another piece of furniture, watching TV sports day and night, taking long naps, and not helping you in the kitchen. But I feel your presence all the time, and that gives me a joy I can't measure.
Thank you, darling. I know another joke. A man retires, and his wife says, "I married you for better or worse, but not for lunch." I don't feel that way. Having you for breakfast and lunch and dinner and all day and all night, it's a joy for me also.
I hope so. And being retired, I have more chances to make love to you. There's the part of getting older. I know I'm not the man I once was. I can't play tennis anymore. I've got pains in parts of my body I never paid attention to before. But the lovemaking, the lovemaking I still can do. So when you tell me that you've been with someone else, I may be able to forgive you, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to handle being told I'm a lousy lover.
No, the man in the joke is a lousy lover. You're a wonderful lover.
But you told me that Merrill Fontaine drove you through the ceiling, and now you know the difference between lovers.
Merrill Fontaine drove me through the ceiling, but you drive me to the stars every time. You're kind and tender and exciting. From our wedding night when you took my virginity, to yesterday when we were going to the pool and you said, "You want to have a romp instead?" I always thought you were the perfect lover. You just had no one to compare you to. But now I know that I was always right in thinking that you must be the best. You've been talking about how we ought to learn new things as we get older, and Elder Host's a good place to learn things.
How else would you know how good I was?
How else?
So, maybe going through Merrill Fontaine's ceiling wasn't such a terrible thing.
I'm going to stay under our ceiling from now on.
Oh, that's a good thing. Maybe I will take that class on Cheech and Chong.
Bravo.
Yay.
Bow. Applause, applause, applause. Very nice.